Hey guys, welcome to The Logical Latte, a channel dedicated to giving you a jolt of logic within the political sphere. Oh boy, so could Donald Trump Jr. have been more right when he wrote the book Liberal Privilege? Now, I have not read this book, so I cannot necessarily comment on what's inside the book. I can just comment on the title itself, and I know the gist of what the book is about. And I could not agree more. It seems to me that we are no longer being ruled by laws, but ruled by men. And maybe these feelings are just sour grapes. I'm not sure. I look at the news every day and I'm waiting for people who have committed crimes to pay for their injustices every single day. And I keep getting my hopes up in thoughts that something is going to happen, and every day nothing happens. Nothing comes of it. So, I do think that Donald Trump going into Washington and trying to drain the swamp, I do think that he has really tried, but I almost want to say the swamp is so deep and so embedded that I almost think it's impossible. Every day I think to myself, ignorance really is bliss. I wished I lived in a world where I believed in the left's Marxist socialist views. It would just be so much easier because to me, it's easier to tear down a capitalist society than it is to fight off the mob every single day, that is trying to tear down our society. So it's interesting. I wish that I didn't feel this way, but every day that I open up my news feed, I realize how deep the swamp really is. So let's talk about John Durham for a second. So there have been reports recently that have said that John Durham is not going to continue his investigation into the crimes relating to the Russian collusion investigation that took over the first 2 years of the Trump presidency. Now, this investigation has been going on for well over a year and a half. And all the insiders said that there was so much information, so many crimes done, so many things that were coming out where people were, changing emails and making false statements to Congress and this and that and all the things. And there's been nothing. There has been nothing that has come from it. And now he is saying that he is not going to do anything with this investigation because he does not want any blowback from the potential Biden administration. I mean, I have a real problem with this. I mean, this is like, first of all, you should not be worried about blowback from the Biden administration. You are a completely separate branch of government. So I'm sorry, but that's not how our government was structured. And so it's just beside me that nothing has come from it besides the one low-level lawyer that had, gotten in trouble for changing some information on an email or something along those lines. And other than that, nothing. I mean, people have been lying to Congress. They have perjured themselves. And there's nothing that's coming up from it. So if you're with the right group of people in Washington or in the swamp or in the deep state or whatever you want to call it, you are good. You can lie and nothing will come from it. I mean, Hillary Clinton had her emails and she, bleach bitted them and broke them up and did all kinds of things and nothing came from it. So she can sit there and lie in front of Congress. But yet Michael Flynn barely has something that's construed as a lie, and his life has been tormented for the last 4 years. And so I have a hard time with that. So it's very difficult for me to understand how we have gotten to the point where we are okay with this as a society. Whether you are on the right or the left, you should have a problem with people who are in power not being held to the same standard as you would be held if you were going in front of Congress, if you were going in front of a judge, and how things would be treated if you were in that situation. So the word is that John Durham does not want to seem as if he is being political. He claimed that he didn't want any of these arrests or anything to come out in the summer leading up to the election because he did not want it to appear political. But I mean, let's face it, guys, everything in America is political right now. The landscape has changed. If you turn on the movies, there's something political. If you are listening to music, there's something political. If you just want to be on a social media platform and chit chat about food, it's political. So, that ship sailed a long time ago if you're trying to not be political, because everything's already political. It just is. And so he didn't want to seem like if he did some arrests or had some, big happen and his report come out right before the election, he didn't want it to seem political, which to me says there's something there. Well, now that Joe Biden is the, what do you want to call it? The quote unquote president elect, he doesn't want to release his report. He's just going to drop it all because, well, he doesn't want to have any blowback from Joe Biden. And can we just say, are you kidding me? That is the most unbelievable thing ever. I can't even get over it. So with that being said, when you look at all of the things that are coming out in the media right now, where people are not being held to the same standard, and then you take a look at what's going on with these mask mandates in certain states and certain cities and lockdowns happening again, it is a very, very scary thing that we are completely okay with this as a society. It's like the complacency test. And I do not understand how we have gone from a society that reveres the idea of not having a government tell us what to do, that we are in the situation where we are. And, the Pennsylvania governor came out, I think today, and he has said that he is announcing new rules for the things that are going on with the health of our nation. And he would prefer for you to wear a mask in your house. Well, that just seems like the most unlogical thing ever. And then you have people like Gavin Newsom in California who are saying that Thanksgiving is done. We're not going to be able to have Thanksgiving. You can't have more than 10 people over for Thanksgiving, this and that and whatever. And that's just crazy to me. And then you have, the girl in Michigan. She's over there doing the same thing and having these lockdowns again. And also the mayor of Chicago. So, here's the question. If these lockdowns, quarantines, or whatever are so effective, why are we going back down that route again? Because shouldn't it have been done the first time? Because we're very far away from flattening the curve. So, all of these things kind of, to me, are related. That there's just a standard for the average Joe and then another standard for the people in power and the people that have power. And I think we should all be questioning that. I understand people on the left, if they just don't like Donald Trump, they're angry at Donald Trump as a president. I get it. Like, I understand that, there's things he's a certain kind of politician, not non-politician. And you don't really ever, you're not able to, not everybody can understand him. So I get it. And I understand that people do not like him, but we should not be losing our freedoms and being okay with certain standards for other people than ourselves, politicians in power, just because we hate or dislike or whatever you want to call it, a certain candidate and a certain political figure. We should absolutely be able to separate those two things. If you don't like Donald Trump, great. You don't like Donald Trump. But don't let your hatred for Donald Trump shoot you closer and closer to a society where you have no power anymore as a citizen. All right, guys, that's about all I have for today's video. Hey, do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so that you can be notified when I put out some more videos. And I will talk with you soon. See you next time.